Warning, MF Uncensored contains adult language and discussion. Listener discretion is advised.
We're a couple of misfits. We're a couple of misfits. What's the matter with misfits? That's where we fit in. We're not Duffy and Dilly. Don't go around willy-nilly. Seems to us kind of silly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MF Uncensored. Don't forget, if you guys are listening to us on the go, you can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, basically anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also find more of our content on our website, themisfitfaction.com. There you find links to not only this show, but some of our other shows like the Multiverse Fancast and Cinematic Adventures. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Paul. I would like to apologize for missing an episode last week. Unfortunately, we were getting too close to too many of these conspiracy theories, and we were shut down by the people. I couldn't think of a good organization off the top of my head because I didn't want to actually get flagged. But anyway, we did have, unfortunately, a scheduling issue. That's what we're calling it. But really, it was the people. As always, like I said, I'm Paul, one of your hosts. With me in the studio today is Sean. Sean, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm a little worried now. Like someone's targeting us.
The people.
The people?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to start a new conspiracy theory about the people. Just the people.
Just the people?
Just
Okay.
the people. And via the Zoom studio, because he didn't feel safe enough to leave his home, Ronnie. Ronnie, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, you know what? The government is after me after doing all this conspiracy theory stuff.
He's in an undisclosed location.
I am in my bunker right now.
Ronnie would
Hopefully
be
I
that guy
can-
who has a bunker.
No, bunk bed. Bunk bed.
Bunk bed.
He's just hiding on the bottom going, this is my bunker. Bunk bed, Ronnie. It's got like
I'm
a
just
curtain.
hoping that I could be out in a week or so from my bunker, and hopefully the government is not out to get me still by then.
Ronnie would be the one
Sarah
who
knock
would...
on the door. Mom, what do you want?
It's a very important mission.
And no, I shouldn't have went on Zoom to record this.
They found me. Just suddenly Ronnie goes... His screen just goes dark. Oh, God. But anyway, Ronnie would also be the guy that his bunker would just have food in it. No working shower. No, like, solar...
He has his priorities.
It's literally just...
Yeah.
Just pure
Hey.
food.
You need food to survive. You do not need to take a shower to survive.
That's fair. It's gross, but it's fair. Is that a ham? Don't worry about it. It's a full ham. Anyway, so we did start off the month. We talked, ironically enough, and I will never forgive us for this, we talked about our alien conspiracy theories, and then like 2 days later, they released like all this new information about UFOs, and I was like, son of a bitch. It's like we broke this open without realizing it.
Yeah, right?
Right? And then Sean, you and I did JFK last
did 2 weeks
episode.
ago.
That was another interesting one. So we are wrapping up the month, and we decided to take a look at some of our favorite ones, some of the most popular ones, and we're going to spend a few minutes on each of them and just kind of spitball some ideas, some thoughts. Everybody's going to kind of try and bring something to the table. Ronnie wasn't prepared, so he just brought food.
Hey, I'll never say no to food.
I know you will say no to food.
What?
I asked if you wanted to get pizza after this, and you were like, I have other plans.
I never said that.
You did too, but anyway.
No, you asked to do something else, and I was like, nah.
Nah. But anyway, so we're going to just kind of roundtable this. We'll each have one that we'll talk about for a little bit. We're not going to go too crazy because some of these are super in-depth and super long. But we'll start with, let's see, Ronnie, because you are not prepared for this at all, we're going to make you go first.
That's just mean.
Okay.
It's hilarious, and he's fine with it.
So now, do we want to talk about ones that we feel are real, or just come up with a conspiracy theory in general?
No, ones that are like actually real. You can't just make up a conspiracy theory.
Not make up a conspiracy theory, but like say like the Earth is flat. I don't believe it's flat, but like
He just wants to talk about that.
If the Earth
Yeah.
was flat, cats would have knocked over everything by now.
that is fair. However, cats don't like water, so I don't think that's possible because they wouldn't have been in the water to knock it over.
Yeah, see, that's not true.
Ah.
There are cats that like the water, but anyway. All right, so yes, no, do an actual one, and it can be one that you believe in, one that you don't believe in, and you could state your thoughts on it.
Okay, let's see. Should I start off easy or should I start off going right into things?
Go right into things.
Okay. So, all right. So my conspiracy theory is the government is hiding a lot of natural medications from us.
Like non-pharmaceutical, like
Non-pharmaceutical. I think that there's a lot of things, especially with what's been going on lately in the world or have been going on in the past few years, that I believe the government is hiding certain things from us that could basically help us. You know, like one of the big things is marijuana. And and the health benefits of marijuana, yet, we're told marijuana is bad for you. Take, these drugs instead that are synthetic and man-made. Meanwhile, marijuana does the same exact effects, but it's natural. It's grown from the earth and everything.
I'm not gonna say it's good for you. If it's
Well,
prescribed by a
if it's
doctor after a
prescribed,
certain
yes.
age, yes, we're dealing with a lot of issues with kids using like THC pens and all that stuff, and it's ruining their brains.
Well, yes, that's why that is different. It's marijuana is good for you when it's used in the correct way, right? So to help with chronic anxiety, to help with chronic pain, different things like that where you are known to have and you're using marijuana instead of this man-made pill that just gets you hooked, this opioid that just leads to you getting hooked on it and leads to side effects that you now have to take other drugs, and big pharma and the pharmacy companies put all this money into the government. So to me, I think, it's a conspiracy that I think the government pushes down these medications down our throats instead of saying, hey, there's all this natural stuff that.
See, I would argue that it's not the government per se, it's big business pharmaceutical companies. With wherever there's money, there's more power. And we'll talk a little bit about Hollywood too. That's another big one. And money talks, and money runs everything. And the more money, like we were talking recently, remember when the lottery was up to $1 billion? And even if you took like the whole sum and you get taxed,
500 million.
like $500 million, even like people who I know like do like well for themselves, like my dad's very successful at what he does. Even he said, he was like, that would change your entire life in ways you can't even possibly imagine. And I was like, I want to change my life like that.
Yeah, right.
But unfortunately, especially with big business, like we learned all about this when we were kids, Rockefeller and all the big business with steel and monopolies and all this stuff. Like we learned about it. We knew it was a thing. And they're like, we fixed it. Don't worry. And we're all like, okay, not really. Like Elon Musk is like, hey, I built a spaceship. Oh, it exploded. Don't worry. I'm going to build another one, guys. Like that kind of stupid money. Stupid money creates a lot of stupid problems. But so Ronnie started off big with a huge pharmaceutical company conspiracy theory and advocated for the use of marijuana instead. So
I'm not just saying just marijuana. There's a lot of natural substances that can be used to help with certain things, but
is alcohol a natural substance? I think
it is.
I can argue that one. But anyway, all right, Sean, you're up. Drop a conspiracy theory. It could be one that you personally believe in, one that you think is funny.
I don't believe it, but if you know me, you'll know why I'm going here. But my conspiracy is that Paul McCartney is dead and died back in 1966.
Ooh, that is a good one. There are a lot of celebrity body double type. Avril Lavigne's another one.
Yeah, I saw that here too.
All right, so tell us a little bit about it.
So the rumor is the theory is that he died in a car accident back in 1966, and to spare the public grief, the Beatles, aided by MI5, replaced Paul with a lookalike. And they began to drop hints in some of their later songs like Sgt. Pepper's and Glass Onion. And yeah.
I love that movie.
That was a good movie. But yeah, no, this has been even to the point where on the Abbey Road album cover, he's walking along the crosswalk barefoot.
He's like the only one,
He's the only one that's barefoot, which is like he's a corpse. And then in Glass Onion, where John has the line, "The walrus was Paul."
Oh, yeah.
So, and I believe one of the albums, if you play it backwards...
That's a big thing, the backward albums and like all that stuff. I always love Little Nicky. Chicago. But... and then like that's a big thing, like all the like the movies and like subliminal messaging that like, hey, this is the truth, we couldn't tell anybody. But like you also get that it's a PR thing. Like they didn't want the Beatles were still the biggest thing in the world at the time, right? What year did they say that this
well, they said he died in 1966, which is literally the height of
Beatlemania.
Beatlemania,
yeah.
But I love stuff like that. That's wild. All right.
So I thought that was a fun little one. I've always heard about it. I just never understood where it came from. Like,
like what the starting point was.
They literally just, the press office just would start getting people calling, being like, "Is Paul okay?" And he's like, Yeah, I just spoke to him. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Is he okay?
And they like point out like like changes in his demeanor and vocal things, and like he sounds different. I love stuff like this, man. Like the celebrity death ones are always the funny ones, which is terrible to say out loud. But anyway, I'm gonna go with one that kind of fits in with what with Ronnie and his. I'm gonna go with that. There is a new world order that runs the entire planet.
100% true.
It is 100% true, but so there's a lot of different theories on this one, right? Obviously, the most popular one nowadays is the Illuminati, and everybody's heard about it. Like the symbols, like the triangle symbol is a big thing, and all this other stuff. But there are like other variations of it, and like secret societies that have been around that have all this money and control. There's a group, I forget what it's called, like the Brandenburg group or something like that, which is a real thing, and it's like the richest people in existence, and they all like meet up once a year, and they do all these weird culty satanic things, and yeah, they basically decide, well, here's how we're going to run the world this year. Can you imagine? Like, that's your meeting. All right, so what are we going to do this year? I don't know, the same thing we do every year, Pinky. I thought you'd appreciate that one, Sean. But
Do tonight, Brain.
same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world. But I love stuff like that because it I hate to say it makes so much sense. But I will argue that the only way that it doesn't make sense is that we know for a fact that our world can't get along under any circumstances. Nobody gets along anymore. Everybody's fighting. It's all me versus them. So I don't know. Like that sort of thing has always been like, it's such a good like movie trope too. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's actually this secret society. Like Batman has the Court of Owls. They did the Nick Cage movie with the Book of Secrets, and I think they mentioned the Illuminati probably somewhere in there.
National Treasure.
Yeah. And it's like
World Economic Forum. They're the ones that run the world.
Oh yeah, the World Economic Forum. It's not, but it sounds so non-threatening.
Exactly. Wouldn't you do that if you were to create a secret society? Wouldn't you want to name it something non-threatening?
I don't know. Would you like? What would you want to name a secret society? Like if you could create your own secret society, what would it be called, Ronnie?
The secret society.
See, nobody would get it. I get it. That's
Exactly,
like it's so
right?
dumb. It's so obvious. It's hidden.
It's so obvious that it can't be.
What about you, Sean? If you were going to create a secret society, what would you call it?
The Master Debaters.
Yeah. See, again, there you go. Now that's a little bit more fun. Like, what are we gonna do there? Well, don't tell Jerry. It's his first night. I would call it Fight Club because you
don't talk about
you
Fight
can't
Club?
talk about it. Like already, you can't talk about it.
You already got in trouble.
They'll never find me because nobody's allowed to talk about it. No. All right, Ronnie, we're swinging back to you. Do you have another conspiracy theory that you want to jump in on?
Let's talk about, I think, maybe one of the most popular conspiracy theories ever is the moon landing.
God damn it, Ronnie.
You took Sean's.
I had to take it before you guys did. You two were prepared for this? Or semi-prepared? I wasn't prepared at all.
Really? Did you just say that me and Paul were prepared for a podcast?
I did only text him today about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot.
So,
I wasn't just gonna.
But yeah, so I mean, do I believe that we did not land on the moon back in, what was it, 69?
Me too. Anybody else thinking of the Even
Paul?
Stevens episode where she's just like, we went to the moon in 1969?
Oh, it's a great episode. It's called Influenza.
Influenza?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I believe that we went, but at the same time, throughout the years of my living and research and everything, it's hard to trust our government and government agencies. So if it comes out that we did not go to the moon, it's one of those things where I'd be like, all right, I'm kind of not surprised that it was fake. But, I think it's kind of hard to fake something like that. I know they talked about, all you got to do is go to Hollywood and all this kind of stuff and just shoot it there. And it talks about, people talk about the shadows, the way the shadows are casted and the flag flying and waving in the air and everything. But it's come out that all those things are possible.
Well, did you watch Adam Ruins Everything?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a show. It was on True TV or something like that.
Yeah.
You can watch it on HBO Max, or Max now, excuse me. I hate the new format of Max, by the way. Side note.
I don't think it's much different than the other way.
You can't search everything A to Z.
No?
No. And it
Really?
drives me crazy because it's literally like you got to go by genre. And I was like, I like seeing everything A to Z because then, like, I don't know what I'm in the mood for.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. I don't think I noticed that.
Oh yeah. Mel and I were pissed. We spent like 10 minutes trying to change it. But anyway, Adam Ruins Everything did an episode on the moon landing where he proved that it would have been more expensive and most likely with the technology at the time impossible to fake.
Yes.
So I do think that we went to the moon in 1969,
Not 1968.
but the year after. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just sang the one thing the whole time.
And it was
Anyway,
the summer of '69.
it was summer of '69. Wasn't Austin Powers just frozen at that time too?
No, he was frozen in 67.
Oh, that's when the second movie takes place.
That's when his
1969.
mojo was stolen.
That's right. Thank you. That's a whole other conspiracy. But anyway,
Then 1968 is when he went back to went to find what's her name, Foxy Cleopatra.
no, that was the '70s.
No, but like he went to when he did the whole my eyes my oh no I've gone cross-eyed, something about 1968. He goes back to 68 and then another time too. I don't remember.
Okay, Sean, that was helpful.
I'm just saying. Hey, you brought it up.
We're cutting you off. But anyway, I do believe that we went to the moon. I do believe that it was a part, mostly because we wanted to just beat the Russians there and be like, hey,
Yeah.
go America. I still think that there was something else, some other reason for going. That was the only thing I liked about one of the Transformers movies where
that
they were literally using it to get to something on the moon, dark side of the moon. Yeah. So I like stuff like that's another fun conspiracy. There's all these theories like there's a base on the moon and all these things like there's a Nazi base on the moon.
It's his moon base.
Nazi base in the Antarctica.
Oh yeah. That was another one. That's a big one.
Moon Unit Alpha, Moon Unit Zappa.
Yeah. Anyway, if you guys could have a secret conspiracy theory base anywhere, where would it be? I don't think I would want one in space. You know, the commute alone.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. I would probably go tropical island base, but then again, the weather. I'm very fragile.
You know what? I'm going to tell you somewhere, but it's not going to be where it is.
Okay. All right. What? Now I've gone cross-eyed.
Well, because if I tell you, then it's not a secret anymore.
You don't have one.
How do you know?
Because I know you.
It's secretive.
You're not even in a bunker. All right. Let's just establish this. Ronnie's not really in a bunker.
They don't know. They can't see me.
So hypothetically, if you could have a secret base somewhere, see, again, you tell them now, and they will never suspect that this is the real thing. Hypothetically, Ronnie, where would you have a secret society base?
Where would I have it? I would have it somewhere out in the open. Don't know exactly where.
Arby's parking lot.
But yeah. maybe White Castle.
I mean, it's just Walmart. It's the same thing,
In the
pretty
basement
much.
of a White Castle.
It's right in front of the White Castle. Sean, if you could have a secret base, where would it be? Or what kind of? Would it be a lava base? Would it be,
No, I don't deal with lava.
I feel like I'd do like a hollowed out mountain, not a hollowed out volcano, hollowed out mountain. I think that'd
probably
be really...
like a hollowed out mountain would be cool.
Yeah,
Or like taking a landmark and turning it like Mount Rushmore.
Ooh, yeah.
Mount Rushmore was a cover up.
You just see one eye open and Sean's just there looking.
The Hollywood sign.
Ooh, good one.
Well, that was a Dr.
That's
Evil
also,
layer
that's
too.
an Austin Powers reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good Austin Powers references. The Empire State Building, that'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
Because that's just a Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
Ellis Island, nobody's there.
Then yeah, that's a good one. Alcatraz, but it's sinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Alcatraz is sinking.
Well, then it
still let
becomes
people-
underwater.
Underwater base.
Yeah, that's right. No, we've seen what happens when you
No,
go
don't
underwater.
bring it up.
Too
Yeah.
soon? Too soon,
I know.
everyone?
Speaking of which, that was one of my other things.
Oh, that's
It was
that's one of your
about
conspiracies?
the Titanic.
Already?
No, the Titanic.
Oh,
About
the
how
actual
it-
boat.
how it-
I thought you were talking about the recent events.
No. About how the Titanic never actually sank.
Well, we saw it in Ghostbusters 2.
And in Supernatural.
And it's supernatural.
Oh, they did it in Supernatural. When?
Season 6.
Oh, of course, that's
Well,
when
you
I
didn't
stopped
actually
watching.
see it.
It's actually one of the better. I'll tell you the exact episode. It was really funny. But
Yeah.
all right, so since Ronnie's bringing up another one, even though it's not his turn, tell us about the Titanic then.
Oh, I don't know too much about it, but I've heard
It's a
apparently
boat
that there was a boat that sailed the ocean blue.
and found
But
the
no,
bottom
I-
too.
But no, I've heard that apparently there's a theory out there that the boat never actually sank. It never actually hit an iceberg, and I don't know too much about it. I'm trying to see if I could.
I want to meet
Honestly-
the people that actually create these rumors and these
Oh,
conspiracy
some of them are
theories.
great. I love them.
And they take off. Like some of these
Oh, yeah, 'cause
take off pretty darn well.
It's
you
even
know?
funnier that a lot of these started without the use of the internet, and a lot there's a lot like I think the biggest one that happens post internet was like all the 9/11 ones, because there are a lot of those too, and I didn't want to bring them up just because it's in poor taste, but there's like a lot of them, like, and the other
same
thing
thing with Pearl Harbor. Just don't bring that up.
But see, with 9/11, you also have so much video now.
Well,
like
that's the thing.
You're at this point where like all these
Pearl
things.
Harbor, there's only like newsreel footage of the after effects.
Yeah.
9/11, I mean, it's freaking on. All the documentaries are on every streaming service we have.
But all right, so Ronnie did 2. Sean, you do not have to do 2. But
no, I only got one more, and again, I'm going for silly. But
go for some.
Theory claims that the Coca-Cola company intentionally changed to an inferior formula with New Coke, with the intent of driving up demand for the original product.
Oh, I like that one. I could see that. I can definitely see that.
And then the president of Coca-Cola rebutted this, saying the truth is we're not that dumb and we're not that smart.
So wait a second.
Wrong.
What are you then? That's actually really funny. I like that. I can get behind that. But again, that's good marketing.
I kind of wish I could try New Coke just to see what it actually tasted like.
After Stranger Things season 2,
3.
Was it 3?
It was 3
because Billy was the bad guy in it.
Yeah, because they were in that like supermarket, and he's just like,
no, he's in the mall.
Is it the mall?
They're at the mall, and they have a 5-minute conversation about how New Coke is just as good. Yeah, I never tried New Coke. I was never.
No, it was gone by the time we were around.
Yeah, now it's old.
You don't want New Coke. This is real Coke.
Cocaina?
Cocaine.
What? Anyway, all right. So I'm going to do one, and this is one that I actually wrote a paper on in college. I took a class called Controversial Criminal Cases.
Went to college?
I did go to college. I have a bachelor's degree, and I'm thinking about going for my master's degree. Not in debate, just so you know, Sean. I know. Missed opportunity. But I am going to talk about the death of George Reeves. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, George Reeves is an actor born in 1914, and he was famous for playing Superman on the New Adventures of Superman, I think it was called. Or
The Adventures of Superman.
The Adventures of Superman.
50s television show.
50s television show. Died under mysterious circumstances. It was originally ruled as a suicide. Shot himself in the face. But yeah, there's been a lot of controversy about it, right? So they talk about, MGM was heavily involved. They had I think he was like having an affair with
like a studio head's wife.
Yeah, Eddie Mannix.
Mm-hmm.
He's having an affair with Tony Mannix. And then there's like a lot of like
well portrayed in the movie Hollywoodland.
Oh, that's a great movie. We got to do that movie at some point.
It's a very good movie.
But like there was no prints on the gun, and there's like a practice shot on the ground, and like there's like all these different things. There are a ton of celebrity death conspiracy theories. I think arguably more famous is Marilyn Monroe. Mm-hmm. And then Kurt Cobain's another big one. Kurt Cobain with the shotgun. They're like, there's no way he could have fired a shotgun like that. Like Courtney Love did it, but like these are all those things that we'll never find out the truth. But it's
build a time machine.
All right, ready? Here's a conspiracy theory that I have. I firmly believe, all right, that there are, well, not only in time travel, but that there are actual time travelers walking among us right now. And they're either, I thought about it after I watched the Family Guy episode where it's like, oh, we take vacations to the past. Like, that's what they do in the future. I would not be surprised if they created some sort of time machine for pure observational purposes, like sending scientists back in time to be like, so let's see what this COVID thing was really about. Or, hey, George Reeves, what a guy. Like, if you could go back in time and just watch a historical event, what would it be?
JFK assassination.
The JFK assassination. I knew you'd probably say that. Ronnie, if you can go back in time and witness any sort of...
You can only witness. You can't prevent.
You cannot prevent. You cannot interact.
JFK.
It's literally like you're a ghost there just watching.
JFK
what I'd like to see... I would like to see the Boston Tea Party.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I'll give you that one. Why?
I think... it's kind of like the kickoff and for the American Revolution, got us obviously, and we all know, the American Revolution and everything, but just something that where, you're the people of America, kind of were like, we've had enough of being ruled heavily and taxed so much by the government that we're going to do something about it. And I think it's just like a show of true like patriotism and everything, that event. So That's something I would like to see.
I don't even know what I would want to go back in time and see. In all honesty, like, you know what? I would like the John Benet Ramsey murder, and see who did it, or OJ, just to confirm that he did it.
Well, any of those murders.
He did not do it. The glove did not fit.
Oh my God! You shut up, Johnny Cochran. But
the glove does not fit. You must have quit.
Did you know that there's a conspiracy theory that Katy Perry is actually a grown-up John Benet Ramsey?
God.
Yes,
yeah.
because they look eerily similar.
Yep.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yep, and just like, yeah, a 2016 YouTube video came out from some guy named Dave Johnson who believes that John Benet's murder was a hoax so Katy Perry, the singer, could, like, shine. Some of these things are wild. Oh, of course, we got to do one of the most famous ones of all times. Elvis Presley, still alive.
Okay.
I wish.
Tupac is still alive. Some of these. Jim Morrison was murdered. Dun dun dun.
I don't know why.
See, the Tupac one is plausible because they've never found out who the murderer is.
Well, there is a
never
theory.
Even tried to find out who it was.
There is a theory that the FBI was actually behind the death of Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of going through some of them, and some of these are so stupid. Oh, Jack the Ripper. There are a ton of conspiracy theories about good old Jack the Ripper, about who he actually was. Lewis Carroll was supposedly. That's one of the more famous ones. I always liked the stories about Jack the Ripper, and, you know, like, there are a ton of theories about who he is. We'll never know. That's something I would love to, if I can go back in time to just kind of see who Jack the Ripper was. That'd be a really cool thing. My favorite movie appearance of Jack the Ripper of all time, Shanghai Nights.
Never saw that one.
So they introduced Jackie Chan's sister in it, and like, she knows martial arts too in it, and they're in London, and she's walking the streets alone, and she runs into Jack the Ripper, and he's like, "Oh, little bird, just got like off for a stroll," and she just kicks him, and he goes flying over the bridge into the water. It's really funny. But all right, here's one of my favorites, and I'm sure Sean will have some thoughts on it. Walt Disney is cryogenically frozen. What do you got, Sean? Come on.
100% believable.
I don't have anything. I mean, it's believable, but it's not true.
I think it's true. He is frozen under Disney as we speak, in the tunnels, in those secret tunnels that they have.
The secret tunnels.
The secret tunnels.
The Disney tunnels.
I've been in the Disney tunnels.
Why? How did
They do tours?
Oh, okay. Did you see anything?
You
cool?
were able to
Yeah,
escape.
it's just like yes, I was able to escape.
He was too big to be a figure in the small world.
Yeah. Wasn't a little child.
He was not a lost child.
No,
That's
they
all.
make you do Christmas movies with Tim Allen.
Oh God, that sounds horrible. But all right, let's see. We have the lizard people conspiracy, one of my personal favorites. That there's a group of lizard people that control everything, and supposedly Justin
Wasn't that
Bieber.
Supergirl?
What?
Wasn't that Supergirl?
I don't.
Didn't they do something like that? Not lizard people, but like
Oh, I don't remember.
aliens or whatever. Or
No, they did a whole storyline about that. But yeah, apparently Justin Bieber's one of them. Like, the lizard people one is a big one. It's been around for a long time. I'm just looking it up really quick because it is a good one. Let's see. Yep. Some 12 million Americans either believe or aren't sure if interstellar lizards run the United States. That's a lot of people. Wow. All right, let's see. A list includes George Bush, Bill Clinton, and as I mentioned, Justin Bieber. So stupid.
Wait, what? I just heard Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Justin Bieber in the same sentence.
Oh, yeah. All lizard people.
Oh, okay.
Lizard people, Sean.
I was waiting for the punchline.
There's no punchline. That's just kind of where we're at in our world at this point, and I'm okay with it, which is strange. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other. We have Stanley Kubrick, and every celebrity is in them. Paul McCartney, Avril Lavigne. The Titanic didn't sink. Princess Diana was murdered. Basically, any celebrity that dies is they think
Murdered.
Britney Spears was an instrument of the Bush administration because basically her entire mental breakdown and all the problems Britney Spears were having at the time kind of deflected the public from seeing George Bush for how great he was doing at our presidency. So she was one big media propaganda distraction. I'm fine with that. And apparently Miley Cyrus was one for the Obama administration. I wouldn't be surprised, like, if they get some of these celebrities to, like, all right, I need you to be weird, like, and just real.
They do.
Yeah, it's.
They do. Look at Hollywood. Hollywood is run by the rich of the rich, and whenever something's going down, they create some sort of storyline to overshadow what's happening.
It's possible, in all honesty. I'm trying to think any other conspiracy theories? You guys mentioned all the balls ones.
Balls.
The
All the
balls?
sports
Yeah,
ones.
balls.
Okay, I love how you can't say sport. You said balls.
Sports.
I
Balls.
mean, there's a couple out there. Nothing that's probably as like great as these ones were, but
No, because a lot of the sports ones, there's a lot of them that are true, like Deflategate, Spygate, like all that kind of stuff. We talked about off there about Cal Ripken Jr. keeping a streak alive due to a blackout, quote unquote. But I mean, there's not too many big ones, but I think a lot of them are plausible when it comes to the NBA, the NFL, and like all these sports leagues that somehow, some way do something to change the outcomes of games or whatever it may be. Because it's a business, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
how do you make money? By creating, you know, controversy, by creating these like game sevens and stuff like that where they do certain things. I just watched the documentary about what's his name? Tim Donaghy.
Sure. That's
the referee.
sports.
Yeah.
Basketball
So
referee.
he was a basketball referee that was betting on games that he was reffing and the games he wasn't, and it was connected to the mob and all this stuff, and it came out where the FBI investigated him, and they did an investigation where they found out that he wasn't the only referee, but he was the only referee to get in trouble, and he ended up pleading. The way they made it seem was they forced him to plead guilty to cover up what was actually going on in the NBA.
Yeah. And I know, like, they're still pissed about that. That some other referees are still allowed to do the job, and they were clearly part of it.
Yeah, but you know what the worst is when you like find out like some conspiracy theories, like it's like people always knew about them, but nobody ever like the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Like when that all came out, every celebrity in Hollywood was kind of like, well, I mean, we kind of knew, we didn't really know, but everybody knew. Stop it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap us up for unless anybody has one last conspiracy theory that they want to jump in on.
No, I think that's good for me.
Ronnie, you good? You can take your tinfoil hat off and get out of your bunker.
Maybe we'll see. After some of the stuff I said, I might have to stay in my bunker a little bit longer.
Why do you have a shotgun? But anyway,
Shotgun and a dog right next to him.
it's a small dog. It's so weird.
It's drinking Keystone Light.
What? Ew. But that's going to wrap us up for today. If you guys are looking for more of our content, don't forget you can find us on social media. If you type in the Misfit Faction or MF Uncensored, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Another conspiracy theory is that TikTok is spying on all of us, which it is. Let's all be honest.
All of them are.
All of them are.
All
Facebook,
social medias.
Amazon.
Zoom. Ronnie, run. But anyway. So
How they know where I am? There's a camera on you, Ronnie.
Paul posted the episode. But anyway. Well, there was the one where they can spy on you through your webcam. People were covering up their webcams. And that was apparently true. Yeah, they can. Homeland Security can do that.
I never activated my webcam
They-
on my computer.
They can get into any webcam, whether it's on or off, even on your phone and any speaker.
They're just going to see me watching YouTube videos at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting ready for work.
And your Alexas.
That's why I don't have Alexa. I don't trust
Alexa.
We have like 4
And your-
Alexas.
So we have a Roomba. Did you hear? Sorry, this is kind of going back, even though you're doing your outro. Did you hear about Roomba?
No.
They have a vacuum that has a camera on it,
Nope. Big nope. Don't want it.
and it goes around, and it can obviously in your house, and it maps everything out, and it can send that data to Roomba, but obviously it could be sent to the government too. So-
Government Roomba. Well, do you remember the Furby one? There was a Furby one that like they were it was actually listening to you, and then there was the one Furby that was like saying like demonic things. This was a real thing. The Furby like with there was some sort of technical glitch where it was saying the wrong things, and it all came out like very malicious and like evil sounding. This was a real thing. It actually happens. Like all that stuff, all the toys, like even like Tickle
It was
Me
a
Elmo.
gremlin.
Yeah, it was a gremlin. But as I was doing the outro, I'm going to outro even more. If you guys are also looking for more content, you can check out Ronnie on the Multiverse Fancast and Sean on Cinematic Adventures. And that's pretty much going to wrap us up for today. As always, I'm Paul.
I'm Sean.
I'm Ronnie.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Hey guys, it's Paul, and the Misfit Faction is looking for your help. We are trying to grow not only our network, but also grow our brands, and the best way to do that is if you guys are looking to start your very own podcast. Maybe you guys have been listening to us for a while, maybe it's something you guys have always wanted to do, but you're not sure how to get started. If you go to podbean.com/misfitfaction, you guys will get a month of free podcasting set as a gift from us. So make sure if you guys are looking to start your own show, you reach out to us and go to podbean.com/misfitfaction. Also, maybe you guys have your own online business or service that you're always looking to grow, and advertising is a very big part of that. If you guys go to sponsorship.podbean.com/misfitfaction, you guys can get $100 worth of free advertising, again, as a thank you from us to you guys. That's sponsorship.podbean.com/misfitfaction.